Hi, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I'm going to alter a little golden book. When I first get the books, I take the tape off, and then I remove the two staples. That's what holds the books together. And then I can take them apart. This book has two signatures, and it will have two signatures when I'm finished. The story will be intact. And then I take a piece of chipboard, medium weight, and I cut it the same length as the cover, and it is almost the same thickness as the chipboard covers. It's 1 3/4 inches wide, and I cut a piece of tyvek. That's from an old mailing envelope. That's 3 1/4 wide by the length of the spine. I'm going to take that and fold it in half lengthwise. So now I know where to place my spine. Let's move the covers over to the side so they don't get ruined. Okay, and I'm going to use tacky glue and apply generously. Get my fingers in the glue. There we go. And then I'm going to center it with that fold right in the center of my chipboard. That's going to be my spine. There we go. Smooth it down. I use my Teflon bone folder. Bone folder. And squish the glue all around. There we go. That's going to be nice. Okay, and then I've also cut ripped some fabric. It's a cotton quilting fabric, and it is 3 3/4 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is, I don't want the selvage on there. That's the finished edge from the manufacturer. I want that to come off, so I give it a little snip and rip. There we go. And this is what's going to cover our spine so that we don't see the tyvek. But we're going to do that in a minute. First, what we want to do now is make sure that our covers are going in the right direction, so I don't go and do something like that. So here we go, they're in the right direction. And I have a template that I made that is 3 layers of the medium weight chipboard, and I use that for my spine, for my hinge, so that my books will fold evenly and nicely. So what I'm going to do now is use some Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to apply it on the edge here and on the edge here. Got some strings. Double checking my cover orientation. I'm going to place that down, and I'm going to put my template right inside. I've learned that trick from making my photo mini albums. When I make those covers, it's very important so that the cardstock doesn't crack, to have enough space. And we're going to put this one down here. And we're going to make sure that the template works. And I'm using this ruler so that I'm sure that my covers are going to be level. And we can double check on the top as well. If we're going to make any adjustments, we need to do it before the glue dries. There we go. Doesn't look much like a book, but it's getting there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our fabric. See how it covers the tyvek, but it doesn't cover too much of the book. So I want to use the Fabri-Tac glue again, and I'm going to apply it on the tyvek. Tyvek is a really super strong, almost plasticky, but it is paper fibers, and it's not rippable. It's very durable. Okay, and I'm going to go just easy on the edge so that my fabric can grip. And this is the whole length of the bolt, which would be about 44 inches. We're not going to use that much, but we can cut it off later. So now I just want to place it right over, and we're going to use the Teflon bone folder again. You can use a brayer. I have a brayer here too, so you can see how that works. And it just smooths out the glue. I'm going to make sure that my fabric is on almost straight, at least, right? And I can move it a little bit because it's not dry yet. There we go. Much better. They have so many fabrics to choose from at this store. It's hard to decide. I want them all. Okay, now we're going to flip it over. And I want to bring this up. So I'm going to apply some glue right on the fabric. Not very much. And push that on there. Okay, and we have a thread. And then what we're going to do is bring this down and glue that on. I'm going to wipe off my nozzle a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to apply the glue. It gets to be a nice thin layer when you move it around with the nozzle. Okay, and I also want to put glue in this hinge here. Right here we go, both sides. Okay, boy, that looks like I've overdone it, doesn't it? Put the cap on. And now we're going to bring the fabric right down. I'm pulling it a little bit taut. not putting a lot of strength on it because I don't want it to shrink back, but I want it to be nice and tight. And now I'm going to cut this off, trim it up with the book. There we go. We can use this for another book. We didn't even use half of that whole length, and that's such a pretty color. Okay, now you can feel where that dip is, where the hinge is. So I'm going to use my bone folder and push that fabric down in there on that glue. Looks like this bone folder is a little bit thick for that. I'm going to use a different one, but a nice thin one. This will be good. There we go. Now we're going to let that dry, and I made a library pocket. This book in its former life belonged to Sophia, but what I'm going to do is I made a new library pocket with a little card. You can use it for journaling, and we're going to place that right over the top of that and glue it in. We can use our tacky glue again for this. Just going to put the glue on the manila envelope. I made this little pocket out of an old file folder. Let's move that. Here we go. There. Then we can decorate the pocket later too, when we're decorating and embellishing the book. There we go. The three little bears. Oops, I have threads attached to me. There we go. And then in order to, I'm going to sew the spine, sew the signatures into the spine, and to do that I use a graph paper and make myself a practice template, and we'll do that in our next video. Thank you for watching.